Stay alive. Enemy dropping into the AR. Squad mate back on station. Good work. Enemy soldier incoming. Enemies are dropping into the area. Inside. Stand by for redeployment. Marking down. Marking the rest of them.
Changing mags.
Knocking them down. You've got a loadout drop inbound. Parts remain in operation from that squad. Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them.
Changing mags.
Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done. Enemy dropping into the AR. Parts remain in operators from that squad. Hunt them down.
Power field upgrade.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Changing mags.
Good kill. Mark the rest of that squad on your tac map. Get hunting. Get your squad to the safe zone. There's no one behind. Target down. Marking the rest of them.
Changing mags.
You have reinforcements inbound. Additional target added. Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Well done. Kill confirmed. Locating the rest of them. Fire sale active. Buy station prices have been reduced.
Rolling in force.
HDR, ready for launch.
16 rounds. Out.
Changing mags.
Mark remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. Make it count.
I will
Target
know.
down. Marking the rest of them.
HDR, awaiting target care package available for delivery.
Enemy intel located.
Operator
Capture and
establishing
secure the
scope.
intel point to discover the next gas spread. Fine. You still have squad mates outside the safe zone. Enemy dropping into the AR.
Changing mags.
Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your tac map. Get hunting. Fire sale's done. Prices are back to normal.
Drawing hand cannon.
Changing mags.
Hand cannon. Prepping fire.
Deactivated. This is the air gate. We've lost eyes on the objective. Contract failed.
Rolling in force break.
Hand cannon's hot.
Only 4 remain. Finish the job.
Taco, we're flying on fumes. UAV returning to tank.
safe zone. Gas is moving.
Eyes on enemy.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Inserting armor.
Supply crates have been restocked. Load up. Precision airstrike standing by. It's all on you. Stay alive so your squad is redeployed. 5 squads still operational in the AO. You're in the top 3. Don't let up now. Get moving to the safe zone. Enemy dropping into the AO. Ruck up, you're headed to the war zone. Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone. Resurgence. Survive and you set a drop point for your squad soldier. Ready for task. Marking the rest of them.
Do not disturb these waters.
Attack map to hunt down the rest of them. Losing ground, moving.
Just think of it as a dream.
Mark the main operators from that squad. Hunt them down. attack map. Get hunted. Marked remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the sky. Enemy destroyed. Use your tap map to hunt down the rest of them. There's an airstrike available. Squad mates back on station. Good work.
Changing map. Will you act and seize this last opportunity?
Enemy UAV overhead.
Changing map.
Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your tac map. Get hunted.
Changing map.
Target down. Marking the rest.
Our field upgrade.
You've made it to the top 10. Enemy soldier incoming.
Changing map.
Enemy UAV is online. Squad mates redeployed. Well done. Fire sale is active. Buy station prices are adjusted. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
That's our field upgrade.
You have reinforcements inbound. Resurgence window is ending. Watch your six.
Changing map.
Some of your squad is outside the safe zone.
Thank you.
crate ready for tasking.
Changing maps.
Priority tasking requested. UAV entering AO.
Enemy UAV is online. Be advised, resurgence is no longer active. To the top 5. Five squads still operational in the AO.
TACCOM, give me a UAV.
Get your squad to the safe zone. Leave no one behind. Hostile UAV in the area.
Operator establishing score screen.
Don't let up now. Target destroyed. Deploying supply drop to your location.
Good effect on target.
Enemy UAV overhead. Three of the last two now finished. 3 squads left to spawn zone. Stay alert. Following squad is outside the safe zone. You're the last one standing, soldier. Survive
Last
until
one
your squad
standing.
can redeploy. Enemy UAV is online. Enemy soldier incoming.
Throwing tactical.
The enemy took that one.
Okay, time's up, baby.
What?
Okay, what are you doing? Getting your rest, baby?
Those are going to be your safest bets
Look
in
at
terms
this.
of long-term crypto storage
Mess.
because you never know what's going to
Anything
happen
that you
to these
leave out,
exchanges.
fix it. Come on, now,
Even
you
with
know this.
exchanges like
Okay,
Coinbase, for example, something could
okay,
happen, God forbid, and
okay,
you
but
lose
you
access to all
did you
your
have this stuff? I
crypto.
don't know.
If you're new to the crypto space
Okay,
and you want to keep
good
your
job.
crypto safe, I would highly recommend using a cold storage wallet. Now, the two most
Pick your
popular
phone up.
ones
Don't
I
tell your
would
brother you got
recommend would
time.
either be Ledger or Trezor. But
Don't
those
even
are going to be
mention
your safest
nothing.
bets
You
in
heard what I
terms of
said?
long-term crypto
Do
storage
not
because
mention
you
it.
never know what's going to happen to these
Okay.
exchanges. Even with an exchange like Coinbase, for example, something could
Because
happen,
you
God
don't should.
forbid,
If he's not gonna
and
get
you
any,
lose
because if he got
access to
grounded, you
all your
got grounded.
crypto.
Remember, y'all both
But if
grounded.
you're new to the crypto space and you want to keep your crypto
Tomorrow's
safe, I would
another
highly
day.
recommend using a cold storage wallet. Now, the two most popular and the ones I would recommend would either be Ledger or Trezor. But those are going to be your safest bets in terms of long-term crypto storage because you never know what's going to happen to these Even with an exchange like Coinbase, for example, something can happen, God forbid, and you might lose access to all of your crypto forever. If you're new to the crypto space and you want to keep your crypto safe, I would highly recommend using a cold storage wallet. Now, the two most popular and the ones that I would recommend would either be Ledger or Trezor. But those are going to be your safest bets in terms of long-term crypto storage because you never know what's going to happen to these exchanges. Even with an exchange like Coinbase, for example, something could happen, God forbid, and you might lose access to all of your crypto forever. If you're new to the crypto space and you want to keep your crypto safe, I would highly recommend using a cold storage wallet. Now, the two most popular and the ones that I would recommend would either be Ledger or Trezor. But those are going to be your safest bets in terms of long-term crypto storage because you never know what's going to happen to these exchanges. Even with an exchange like Coinbase, for example, something could happen, God forbid, and you might lose access to all of your crypto forever. If you're new to the crypto space and you want to keep your crypto safe, I would highly recommend using a cold storage wallet. Now, the two most popular and the ones that I would recommend would either be Ledger or Trezor.
He's just always in his own world. He really quiet for real unless he know you. Funny as hell though, but if he know you type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like always in his own world. Really quiet for real unless he know you. Funny as hell though, but if he know you type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just always in his own world. He really quiet for real unless he know you. Funny as hell though, but if he know you type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just always in his own world. He really quiet for real unless he meet me.
If I were you, whatever I'm struggling with, because you got Chat GPT now,
show Jamie Lee Curtis some respect. So Disney Studios posted this video of Jamie Lee Curtis promoting Freakier Friday, and the internet is shook for obvious reasons. I'm not gonna lie, the imagery is, interesting marketing from Disney. But I bet y'all gonna watch Freakier Friday now. What we not gonna do is act like Jamie Lee Curtis hasn't been show-stopping her entire career. This is her bag. This is an actual article from 1985, press for the movie Perfect.
Be ready when.
I don't deal with racism very well because I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I grew up with good white folks. A lot of the African American shows back in the day, all of
Baby, here, put these on. I got these for you. Yes.
no one noticed, but less than an hour after. Explain how you get 100 miles to the gallon on diesel and it goes 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds.
It's like, okay, I want to build a car that'll be representative, something that can be mass produced, that, let's say it would cost about $20,000 or less. I made it diesel, turbo diesel. So I looked around for what I felt was about the most efficient engine reasonably available and built the car. Now, I said something like 11 years ago on video, so I can prove it. I said it will get over 100 miles a gallon and it will do 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. It's going to get over 100 miles a gallon. It will do 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. Mark my words. Now, I built the car. I even showed it at a private car event, sports cars and exotic cars, and told everybody about my concept. But when I got it all together and done, I realized I don't have a voice. Like, what am I going to do with this thing? If the world doesn't know it exists and nobody hears about it, it doesn't exist.
You felt like Nikolai Tesla at this point, I'm sure. Explain how you get 100 miles to the gallon in diesel and it goes 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds.
It's like, okay, I want to build a car that'll be representative, something that can be mass produced, that, let's say it costs about $20,000 or less. I made it diesel, turbo diesel. So I looked around for what I felt was about the most efficient engine reasonably available and built the car. Now, I said something like 11 years ago on video, so I can prove it. I said it will get over 100 miles.
Do this Tai Chi work? I went to the mall, embarrassingly enough.
Right, that's it. Your response.
I'm a marketer. Lavart allows me to craft proposals faster, present sooner, and close deals quicker. It's that simple.
Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay, you need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. Yes. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out. Let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay, you need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out. Let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay, you need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out. Let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay, you need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out. Let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay, you need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out, let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay. You need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are, it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out, let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay. You need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are, it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out, let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay. You need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are, it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out, let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay. You need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are, it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out, let him know that he exists, and you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay. You need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are, it's painful to appeal to that person. Talk to them. Leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink. Leave it out. Let him know that he exists. And you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay. You need guidance on the other side. Like I said, in a weird way, when Scott LaRock passed, he was killed in the Bronx. That's when my guidance started. Yes. When you have a parent that may go, a brother, a sister, a son. These are, it's painful to deal with, but you have someone on the other side now that you can communicate with. I mean, what a great privilege that is to have someone on the other side that's outside of space and time. Appeal to that person, talk to them, leave his favorite food out, his favorite drink, leave it out. Let him know that he exists. And you'll see the guidance. Like I was saying to you, that in a weird way, when family members pass, it means that something great is about to happen in your life, and you need guidance from the other side. What's up? Okay. You need guidance on.
David E. Taylor got busted by the FBI yesterday. He says that if you talk negatively against him, God's gonna kill you. And he preys off the most vulnerable. He's raised $50 million in about the last decade. His
Whatever this means, right? We think it's air, but I realize that if I stop, close my nose and mouth for 4 minutes, I'm separated from this substance for 4 minutes.
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by. All stations, green light. We're deploying to the war zone. Resurgence. closing in.
That is of no concern to me. Changing maps.
Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them.
Last bag. Last bag.
Combat drop headed your way. Mark remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. Squad mates back on station. Friendly loadout drops on the way. Back on station. Go get off. Target down. Marking the rest of them. Kill confirmed.
Changing maps.
Locating the rest of them. Enemy dropping into the AR.
I'm good. Changing maps.
Squad's in the safe zone. Gas is moving. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. You have reinforcements inbound. Friendly strike confirmed on a nearby target. Take up. Buy station prices have been reduced. Enemy deployed an advanced UAV.
Back.
mate is redeployed. Well done. Get ready. Resurgence window is about to close. Only 10 left. Destroyed. Use your attack map to hunt down the rest of them. Enemy soldiers target down, marking the rest of them. Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your back. Fire sales done. Prices are back to normal. You have reinforcements inbound. You've got 10 squads active in the field. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. No more second chances.
I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
You've got 4 remaining. Stay sharp.
Calling in score streak.
Enemy UAV is online.
Priority tasking request received. We're done.
5 squads still operational in the AO. All squad mates are in the safe zone. Top 3, don't let up now. Squad mates are restocked. Stay alert.
Exerting armor.
Safe zone.
TACOM, authorized LDDR strike.
Using them.
Enemy UAV on grid. Requesting recon above. TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
Last chance, contract. Kill or be killed. They picked the wrong fight. Wait till it's done.
Y'all see this cassette tape, right? This is Bluetooth. So you charge it right there, and you turn this light on. Yo, and it sends a signal. That is crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Y'all see this cassette tape, right? This is Bluetooth. So you charge it right there, and you turn this light on. Yo, and it sends a signal. That is crazy.
This guy's IQ to testosterone ratio was so insane that it looked like he was built in some kind of Nordic god factory. Meet Dolph Lundgren, actor, scientist, and martial artist who basically skipped a few steps on the human evolution chart. 6 feet 5 inches, 250 pounds of pure muscle, and a jawline sharp enough to slice through bread. Oh, and by the way, he was also smart as hell. With 160 IQ, he has a master's in chemical engineering and studied at freaking MIT. In Rocky IV, he played Ivan Drago and hit Stallone so hard that he landed in the ICU for 4 days with a swollen heart. Sly told him to go all in, and Dolph nearly sent him to the afterlife. But the wildest part? In May 2009, 3 masked burglars broke into Dolph's place while he wasn't home. They tied up his wife and asked for money and jewelry. But as soon they saw a family photo of Lundgren's, they recognized him and ran off without taking anything. Even the dumbest criminals knew that nobody walks away after messing with the Drake.
Don't use that before. Stop. Don't use that.
This got to be one of the worst calls in NFL history. What the fuck are we talking about, bro? So you supposed to let him catch the ball now? What? That's such a terrible call, y'all. There's got to be one of.
It doesn't look like much, but cactus leaves actually help build an entire food system.
Come see me on tour in Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco, Irvine. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Here's the last thing I'd like to show you. Now, here's the current head of the FDA Dr. Marty Makary, and who was scheduled to come on our show 2 weeks ago and canceled at the last minute because I don't know.
That's true what they say. Hell of a band.
Of the FDA Dr. Marty Makary, and who was scheduled to come on our show 2 weeks ago and canceled at the last minute because I don't know. But he's willing to go on these corporate news shows because I guess he's not afraid of getting challenged by them. But and I'm on board with the Maha. I'm on board with RFK. RFK had no trouble. Marty Makary sent me DMs asking to come on my show before he was the head of the FDA, when he had a book to sell. Now that he's the head of the FDA, he's too good for shows like us because we might ask him a question from the left. And he doesn't want those. He wants corporate misinformation. He can knock that down, but he can't knock down what I'm going to say. But anyway, here he is. He knocks down. Here's Elizabeth Vargas. And listen to this garbage.
But we should note that vaccine injury and, God forbid, vaccine deaths have been a very, very small minority of the hundreds of millions of people who've taken this vaccine.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans describe vaccine injury. 25% of clinicians know of somebody that's been significantly disabled or died from a vaccine. I know of 3 people who have died from the COVID vaccine, not personally, but through a physician or friend that has had a first-degree contact with someone who has had a vaccine complication. We know there's a risk of myocarditis in young, healthy men. That's 1 in 2,600 young boys. So, when people use these blanket terms, they're ignoring the very nuanced question in medical science, and that is, do the benefits outweigh the risks? That is the question. Not let's blindfold ourselves and insist that everybody take this. Look at the last administration, rubber stamping COVID boosters every year with no updated clinical trial. And we said we're not going to keep going down this road. We don't believe in COVID vaccine boosters forever unless we have evidence to support it. We're bringing back gold standard science and common sense.
So bravo to Marty Makary for doing that. It wasn't hard to knock that down because I don't doubt that she doesn't know anything about COVID. I don't think she knows anything, and she just reads what her producer has written and told her to say. And so just like Chris Cuomo, when he was hosting on CNN, he was repeating the same garbage about ivermectin and same garbage about the vaccine and lockdowns and masks. And then he got vaccine injured, and then he started getting treated with ivermectin from his doctor. And then he was like, "Oh, we were lied to about ivermectin," which is kind of late for a newsman to figure out 4 years after the fact. But anyway, there it is. So, and I just want to play this. I played this earlier in the show. I want to play it one more time. If you want to know the truth about the Pfizer vaccine for COVID, here's RFK to tell you.
We've never seen these kind of adverse reactions. They were predictable because if you look at the clinical trial data, even though they lied on the clinical trial data, Pfizer lied. We know that. There's no doubt about it. Maddie DeGarry is a good example. She was one of 1,100 children in the 11 to 15-year-old trial. So they're going to give this to 76 million children based on these tiny trials. And so any signal that you see in those trials, you have to assume is going to reverberate. You can extrapolate to the much larger group. Maddie DeGarry got a fever immediately after her vaccine, and she later gets seizures, and now she's in a wheelchair, apparently for life, and she's on a feeding tube. That's a fate worse than death, and it's to a cohort that has zero risk from dying of COVID. And if they give this to 76 million kids, they can expect that an injury like that will occur in 1 in every 1,100 kids. It's not guaranteed, but that's what Pfizer, when you do the clinical trial, that is how it works. You extrapolate any injury to the population as a whole, so that's 70,000 kids or something like that who could be injured in that terrible way. Kids who are at zero risk from COVID, plus the heart attacks we're seeing, the strokes we're seeing. The death rates from this vaccine there's been more deaths in 8 months than in all the billions of vaccines combined 17,000 reported deaths in the United States, and we know the death rate's much, much higher than that. Probably 40 times. The best math, the best studies are showing that it's 40 times that. So, the risks from the vaccine are they're completely untenable. If people knew the truth, they would not be taking this vaccine. And then the benefits of the vaccine are apparently zero or even sub-zero after 6 months. The British data is showing that the people who are vaccinated are actually more likely in many age categories to get COVID than people who are unvaccinated, which, by the way, was predicted. Now, we know that Pfizer knew this was going to happen because in their clinical trial, in the 6-month clinical trial, it was only 6 months. At the end of that period, 20 people died in the vaccine group and only 14 in the placebo group of all-cause mortality. There were 5 heart attacks in the vaccine group and only 1 in the placebo group. So your chance of dying of a heart attack from that vaccine, according to their own studies, is 500% greater than if you're unvaccinated. So they knew we were going to kill a lot of people, and they did it anyway. And people need to be able to see those studies and understand the deception, this criminal deception that has been imposed on them.
And so, how do we get the corporate news? How do we get them? Even because they're funded by Big Pharma, which is why they lie about the vaccines. They lied about COVID, all things COVID, and they smear and slander anybody telling the truth about it. How do we get those? How can we? What can we do? I just don't see it happening until corporate news starts to tell a little bit of the truth about COVID. People will still walk around ignorant of it and still sanctimonious and indignant while repeating propaganda for Big Pharma.
It's an issue. Kennedy's talked about, and Trump has talked about, ending direct-to-consumer prescription pharmaceutical drug advertising. That's what owns the media. Bobby Kennedy used to call it farm media. It's inseparable, right? They're totally intertwined. Interestingly, there are a couple bills in the Senate about ending direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical prescription drug advertising. We're one of 2 countries in the world that does this, Jimmy. So that would be huge to basically get the money for drugs out of the corporate media. It would be huge. I think a lot of people have that objective, including even some Democrats. So I think we have to watch that. That would make a huge difference. Until that happens, I agree with you. It's going to be very hard to do that. But corporate media is dying. It's a dinosaur, Jimmy. I mean, independent media, your show, Children's Health Defense, a million other smaller venues. We've taken over the majority of people watching. The Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson. These people are not on corporate media, but they have viewerships that are huge compared to what CNN and MSNBC have these days.
These are all. It's very positive when you see the head of the FDA gets to go on and smack down an empty-headed news host like that. So bravo to Marty McCarry. It's just amazing to me that a news host doesn't have access to this information. RFK was saying this years ago. This wasn't
years ago. That's several years. That's in Europe. Oracle is a British, and that's from CHD Europe. Yeah, that's from several years ago. And candidly, he doesn't talk quite like that now. But the mainstream is years and years behind. You're starting to see little cracks right now, Jimmy. They are covering that Trump tweet. They are starting to suggest there might be an issue, and they're years behind.
Okay, well, I really appreciate you taking time out to talk to us and talk to our audience. And what do you? It looks like Trump's going to stand by RFK Jr. They're not going to. They're coming with all the pressure that I've ever seen them come to try to get somebody.
The irony is, Jimmy, I think both for Bobby Kennedy and for Donald Trump, when they come after them, that's when they marshal all of their forces. So it's absolutely going to backfire. I think it's just going to bring Bobby Kennedy and Donald Trump closer.
Fingers crossed that happens. This is the bright spot in the Trump administration. Not a lot of bright spots in the Trump administration, but this is definitely one of them. And a lot of people, this is what people voted for. So, this is what got me excited about RFK running in the first place, and the fact that he's now the head of the HHS is fantastic. And well, anyway, I just wanted to I want to thank my guest, Mary Holland. She's the CEO of Children's Health Defense. I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Thanks so much, Jimmy.
Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Come see me on tour in Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco, Irvine. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
I hit the road. Oh, didn't you get the memo? I'm taking fucking and punching all over this fair country of ours. Coming soon to a supersized bookstore near you.
Mother?
Husband. Gonna mess him. Way more than I thought.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
My first fucking him was... It's just a way of yanking your chain.
Really? You don't say.
Yeah, but then he just had to win me over, you know. Some sweet, mangy little puppy. Just wanted someone to pet him and tell him he was a good boy.
And he shit the rug.
Or hump your leg.
Where's your first stop?
Borders in Tacoma.
Know it. There's a great coffee shop down the street. Around the block, there's this old record store. Sells used vinyl. Tons of it. Fantastic.
Great. Old guy's guide to Tacoma. Good to know.
Just be gentle with our retarded love child.
I will.
Be good out there, psycho. Tell him who sent you. Well, if it isn't the madre of my bambino, what's shaking, sweet duck?
I got a job.
Good job.
A great job. I mean, my dream job.
Wow, way to go, fancy pants.
Yeah. It's New York.
Even better.
I start Monday.
No time like the present.
Oh my God. Isn't this much better than I thought?
Why shouldn't I? I've been trying to get back to New York for years.
I got a job.
You got a job. That's what you just said.
Not you.
No, I'm not following.
No, you're not following. I mean, you're not invited.
That is fucked up.
Well, this is not about you or us, okay? This is about me and Becca.
But you can't just whisk her away and expect me to sit here in L.A. with a dry thumb up my head.
Well, you know what? You do have some serious shit to deal with.
Karen, I can write anywhere.
No.
Or not, as the case may be, which is not the case. I just finished the Ashby book this morning. Honey, I'm on fire. Which is why we should be together. Or at the very least, why I should be your Manny. Do that.
My Manny.
Yeah, you're a high-powered career gal now. You need somebody to hold down the fort.
Right.
A major domo.
Cute.
I'm your man, woman.
I'm not talking about your writing or lack thereof, okay? I was talking about the impending arrival of your latest mistake. Did you forget?
Sir Francis Drake said he was totally down with raising the little bastard as his own. You heard the bearded woman.
You're okay with that?
Well, I'm not entirely convinced it's mine. Yeah, I never came inside her. I don't think I did. When she broncoed me, I spasmed out a little dog water. You know?
Thank you.
I'm still holding out the hope that she banged some dude in the P.F. Chang's parking lot while she was looking for Mr. Goodbar. I think that's an entirely plausible scenario.
Oh,
There is something wrong with you.
Well, I'm special. I think I'm special. I really do. So what does Jeff Beckett think about you tearing our family apart?
Well, no, right now, she's heartbroken.
Yeah, of course she's heartbroken. You rip her away from her old man, you don't even invite him to come with. That shit is hard.
She's heartbroken about Damien. Well, she saw him making out with someone else at Mia's party.
No American Burger, man. Take your order. Can I get a jumbo? What the fuck were you thinking?
That's the problem. I wasn't thinking. I mean, she fucking kissed me, dude. That kind of shit just doesn't just happen to me a lot. Like, ever.
You know, be that as it may, on the flip side, what I've got is a young girl whose heart is broken.
Yeah, I know. I feel all sorts of awful about it. But, you know, I've been thinking about it, and given the opportunity to do it again, I don't think it would go any differently.
Claws. And they have, scales, and
and also scales that seem to kind of disappear into one another. But it's more pronounced on the back. There seem to be lumps or protrusions coming from the head. There seem to be some kind of growth appendages at where, on the back, and they seem folded, and not all of them have that. And there is a tail, and they a lot of times will keep the tail curled, and and I've seen her when she's very displeased with something, as I've seen other members like this. This tail is whipped around, very agitated, and they do, and she hisses.
What color are they?
Which one in particular?
Let's take the Queen Mother as an example.
She's kind of a beige color on the underside, and by the time you're going up around to the back and the tail and the top of the head and on top of the nose snout, whatever, it's coming to a very they're dark speckles or large speckles of dark browns, and the eyes usually they're large. They look like they're very round, and they look like they're coming out of their sockets, and very protruding. And usually the color ranges from a beige to a gold to a dark greenish gold, and then there's this dark slit up and down, a vertical slit, and and the eyes will look hooded. And when they look hooded, it's a very frightening thing, because it seems that when the eyes are hooded, they're about to do something.
What do you mean by hooded?
Where the lids come down, and it's almost, I guess it would be the same thing in a human as an expression of if someone's got an idea.
And how tall are they when they shapeshift?
They're just about 7 feet tall. Some are a little shorter, or to a foot shorter. Some are a little bit taller than 7 feet.
What is it about the rituals that allow the shapeshifting to happen?
When the victims are starting to be sacrificed, it's the scent of the blood, and they start shape-shifting at that point in time, and they can hardly wait to get to the blood. It's like they're addicted to the blood, and then the consumption of human flesh that follows.
What have you seen the Queen or any of the royal family do in relation to that? Have you seen them sacrifice and consume human flesh?
There are certain times when they will actually do a sacrifice, or there will have been someone doing a sacrifice, and it's not happening fast enough for them. So they will step in and finish it themselves, because the ritual has to be gone through. It's sacrificially, ritualistically, it has to have been gone through, and they will step right in and just start tearing the throat out, and they're getting all this blood from the jugular vein at the same time. And that has happened when there are many there that are going to be sacrificed, and they just can't wait, and tearing into the contents of the abdomen and stomach of a victim afterwards.
Who have you seen do that?
I've seen the Queen Mother do that, and Prince Philip and Charles. I've seen Guy de Rothschild do this. It seems that I've seen it more among royalty or so-called royalty do this than people that are not titled. They don't seem to. They seem like it feels like they don't dare, but they shapeshift nonetheless. But it's like the royals that step in and just start tearing away because they can hardly wait.
How long can they hold the reptilian form in these occasions?
During the rituals, it's much easier for them to hold their reptilian form. They can stay in that form. What it is that they have a hard time holding their human form. And as long as they're around blood and the scent of blood, they can't hold human form.
Was there any way, when Diana was married to Charles, without attending a blood ritual, that she could have seen him or one of the others become a reptile?
They have a tendency when they're asleep to shapeshift and not. They have to consciously hold their form, and when they're asleep, they have a tendency to not hold human form and to shapeshift into reptilian. That scent of blood would tend to cause a momentary shapeshift.
Hey, stop playing with your fanny pack. You need the Bearskin Tactical Hoodie 4.0.
Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching Top 10's Net, and in the video today, we've got a weird one for you. It's the top 10 things you should know about the reptilian conspiracy theory.
Number 10. Origins. There are two schools of thought on where the reptilians came from. Some believe they evolved here on Earth, left Earth, and then mastered intergalactic travel, and then returned millions of years later. Others believe their home planet is in the Draco constellations. Supposedly, they came to Earth thousands of years ago and shared the Earth with people. Then they either decided or were forced to go undercover and hid themselves from our reality. They also started to interbreed with humans by altering our DNA, similar to the way that people alter computer code. The altering of our DNA had a twofold effect. They altered our DNA so we don't use our brain to its full capacity, putting a limit on our consciousness and making us easier to control. As evidence, some people point to the fact that we have reptile genes within our brain. In fact, the reptilian brain is the oldest of the three parts that control our brain. The second is that people with reptile DNA in them could be possessed by reptilians who live outside our realm of awareness in the lower fourth dimension. These human-reptile hybrids, considered demigods, were able to gain power in the ancient civilizations of Sumer, Babylon, and Mesopotamia. As humankind started to colonize the rest of the planet, the reptiles spread across the earth and became the royal families throughout the world. By having power in every single country, the reptilians have created a global prison that people don't even realize they're in. The prison was created by drawing country lines, which leads to endless wars and conflicts. Another way they control humans is by distracting us with media, entertainment, and even politics. They've also made the population stupid and lazy by poisoning their food, the air, and even the water. So, just to sum it up, because it's a lot of very unusual information to take in, essentially the lizard people altered our brains to limit their ability. They installed most, if not all, world leaders throughout history. Those leaders in turn contributed to all major historical events. Finally, for thousands of years, they've been poisoning humans. And all of this was done to ensure that they control humankind. So, right off the bat, the answer is yes. In this video, we're taking a drive to Crazy Town. Enjoy the ride. Number 9. The Reptilian Hierarchy. According to David Icke, the writer who popularized the idea of a reptilian conspiracy theory, there is a hierarchy when it comes to reptilians. Notably, there are two classes of reptilian, full-bloods and crossbreeds. Full-bloods are aware that they are reptilians and can change forms between their human exterior and their true reptilian skin. Also, the full reptiles are not wearing an actual physical disguise. Instead, their human shell is created through vibrations that alter the human mind, so your brain just thinks it sees a human. It's similar to how the aliens disguise themselves in John Carpenter's cult classic, They Live. This explains why reptilians are 5 to 12 feet tall but wear a human-sized disguise. They don't actually shrink in size, our brains just register them as normal human size because changing physical size is considered impossible. On the other hand, hybrids or crossbreeds are not aware that they are reptilian and believe they are human, but are controlled from the lower fourth dimension to push forward the agenda, also known as the New World Order. Among those two different types, there are different races. At the top of the pecking order are the Dracos, which are winged albino reptiles. Below them is a race called the Reptoids, who do not have wings and have brown and green skin. The Reptoids are soldiers and scientists and are responsible for secret government programs and bases, such as the Montauk Project, which was an alleged group of tests done by the United States Army where they tried to develop fringe technologies like time travel. Number 8. How to spot one. Some general characteristics of the reptilians in disguise and people with reptilian DNA is that they are usually Caucasian and have piercing eyes that are green, hazel, and sometimes blue, but they can also change color. They also have low blood pressure and unexplained scars. Since they hide from humans, it may be impossible to see them, but one thing you should look for is how they act. Often reptilians and crossbreeds lack empathy, don't express love easily, are incredibly smart, and have a love for space and science. Supposedly, if you watch television in slow motion, you can get glimpses of the reptilian's true identity. Sometimes the image can be distorted and skin looks green or scaly. Teeth become distorted, and their eyes look like those of reptiles. There are plenty of videos on YouTube of people who claim they have footage of reptilians shapeshifting. Number 7. Suspected reptilian. There are a number of famous people who are suspected of being reptilian. This includes such notable families as the Rockefellers in the United States, the Rothschild family from Germany, and the British House of Windsor. It's also believed that many of the presidents of the United States are reptilian, including Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, who is apparently higher than Bill in the reptilian hierarchy, Barack Obama, and both Presidents Bush. In fact, the Bushes are an integral part of the conspiracy because of how many famous people are related to them. According to Ancestry.com, George W. Bush and Obama are 11th cousins, and Dick Cheney is his 9th cousin once removed. The blood relatives directly related to the Bushes include Abraham Lincoln, Marilyn Monroe, Pocahontas, Hugh Hefner, John Kerry, Vlad the Impaler, and Princess Diana. That means that possibly all of those people are reptilian as well. Not only have the reptilians infiltrated banking, government, and the world's royalty, but they are also some well-known and beloved entertainers like Bob Hope, Brad Pitt, and Angelina Jolie. Needless to say, with so many possible reptilian people among us, it makes it hard to trust anyone. You could even be a reptilian and not even know about it. Number 6. Blood. Blood is very important to the reptilians. For one thing, they apparently consume it. They also eat parts of human brains and apparently prefer children because they aren't as full of poison as adults. Besides just eating our blood, bloodlines are also an important feature in the reptilian conspiracy. You can supposedly tell if someone is reptilian by tracing their bloodlines. It's believed that around 4800 BC, the crossbreeds emerged from the mountains of Turkey, Iran, and Kurdistan, and started the early civilizations of Sumer, Egypt, Babylon, and the Indus Valley. This explains how humans became civilized and accomplished some amazing things. The crossbreeds kick-started them. Thanks, lizard overlords. From those civilizations, humans began to migrate and the reptilians went with them. So Ike claims that all the bloodlines of the supposed reptilian people listed above can be traced back to that area. Ike also says that there are markers in some people's physical blood as well. He points out that from the area of the world where the hybrids originated, there are more people with an incredibly rare blood type called Rh and Rh negative. Other than just being rare, when a baby is born with Rh blood, their skin turns blue. So this is supposedly where the term blue blood comes from. Number 5. The Bible. As proof that the reptilians do exist, David Icke points to a number of passages in the Bible. One of the most famous stories is the fall of man. In Genesis, Adam and Eve are cast out of the Garden of Eden because Eve was tempted by a serpent. Icke argues that this represents a change in human and reptilian relationships. According to Icke, reptilians used to walk the earth and humans were aware of their existence. But as we mentioned at some point, they went underground and hid from humans and started the crossbreeding process. That moment when they went undercover is called the Schism, and that is what the story of Adam and Eve represents. Besides the story of Adam and Eve, another biblical passage that supposedly references the reptilians is Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4, which reads, "When human beings began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Ike says that this is again evidence of the interbreeding. Nephilim is an ambiguous term, but it is commonly believed to mean those who have descended, or the fallen ones, leading people to believe that Nephilim are fallen angels or greater beings. Ike believes that they were actually reptilians who interbred with the daughters of humans, and then their offspring became the hybrid human reptilians. Finally, in the book of Revelation, Satan is described as a serpent and a dragon, and he is cast down to earth with his angels. Ike believes that this is a Draco and his reptoids. Of course, this theory only works if you believe in the Bible, but what's interesting is that the Bible isn't the only ancient source where there are stories of reptiles interacting with humans. Number 4. Snake imagery throughout the world. Other evidence that Ike points to is the fact that civilizations throughout the world have reptile gods or worshipped reptile beings. One notable example is a figurine that was found in the area that was Mesopotamia and is now modern-day Iraq, and is from the time period just before civilization started, called the Ubaid period, 6,500 to 3,800 BC. It is a statue of a humanoid snake creature holding a baby. Besides this pre-civilization relic, there are other stories of reptile gods and demigods found throughout ancient history. Just to name a few, Mesoamerica had a winged serpent god called Quetzalcoatl, Hindus had a god called Naga that was half human and half cobra, Apep was the Egyptian god of chaos and is depicted as a cobra. This doesn't even include how many different cultures around the world have stories of giant reptiles like dragons. Ike says that these stories of reptile gods and dragons originated from when the reptilians operated out in the open before the schism. He also points out that throughout many cultures, there are stories similar to Adam and Eve where reptile creatures are the gatekeepers to special places like the Garden of Eden, or they give spiritual knowledge to humanity. Ike acknowledges that some of this may be metaphorical, but he believes that these stories are actually evidence of the schism.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Number 3. Connection to the Greys. If the reptilian elite New World Order conspiracy theory wasn't wild enough, the reptilians may also possibly be connected to the alien race known only as the Greys. Because, well, why not? According to a mysterious conspiracy writer named Jason Bishop III, the Greys are actually controlled by the reptilians. In terms of hierarchy of control, it goes winged Dracos, non-winged reptoids, the Greys, and then us, the lonely humans on the bottom. There is even some speculation based on eyewitness accounts that there are actual crossbreeds of the Greys and reptilians. They look just like the Greys, except they have reptile-like skin. Theorists believe that the reptilians enslaved the Greys, or they have formed an intergalactic alliance working together.
Use this time for some target practice.
Oh,
The
let's
real
go to bed.
thing's coming soon.
Don't shut off all the stuff over here. Your water's over here if you want it. In the other bag, there's a bag on the floor. Plastic bag right there. White. Blue one. Yeah, fill that up.
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Yeah, baby love. Yeah.